And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, standing 6 feet even, weighing in officially 170 pounds. Fighting out of Dayton, Ohio, here is Chris, the Card Collector West!
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Chris here, Mayce Collectibles. Welcome to Monday. We have several things to cover today. We will kick things off with talking about what feels like a deceased extended family member, in that Khabib Nurmagomedov has retired. I'm sure everyone has been inundated with this news, but you know, out of respect, I gotta mention it here. What a guy, 29-0, absolute monster, one of the greatest, if not the greatest lightweight of all time. So shout out to Khabib. Thanks for the fights. Been around since what, 2012? So a lot of awesome fights, and so that's just, man, that's crazy. Anyhow, we're going to jump straight into Monday Mailbag. Today's question comes to us from Derek. If you don't know how to do Monday Mailbag, folks, you send me your questions, MayceCollectibles@gmail.com. If I select your question and answer it on Monday Mailbag, make sure you send me a number, 1 through I think like 200, and I will select a card out of the card box. That is your number, and that card will be shipped to you free of charge. All right, Derek says, hi Chris. Hey Chris, Derek here. My question for you is, do you plan on grading or collecting graded UFC cards for your personal collection? If so, which grading service would you suggest going through, PSA, Beckett, or SGC? Great question, Derek. So sometimes I forget, and I actually emailed somebody in reply about this. They asked kind of a question and said it's a basic question. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm glad you asked this, because a lot of times there's things that, you know, when you've been involved with something, it's kind of hard for you to remember what it's like getting into it not knowing anything. So, for example, graded cards, I probably wouldn't have thought about even really talking about collecting graded cards, or, you know, you kind of take that for granted that people know about grading cards, but obviously everybody doesn't, so we're going to discuss that. So here's what a graded card looks like. Here's a Macy Barber I grabbed. This is a PSA, of course. If you have a card, you can ship it in to, there's numerous services. There's obviously a lot more than just the 3, but Derek here named probably the most used 3 for us. And you'll ship your card into them, and they'll put it in one of these hard protectors here, scan it and log it in their database so that you can verify the authenticity of it. It has numerous serial numbers there. And then your grade will be right here, a 9 for PSA, Beckett, etc. goes to 10. It's a mint, and then the description of the card. So these are things you always want to check out too whenever you get your card shipped, and make sure that it's right. If you have an error card, etc., you want to make sure it's annotated there properly. They rarely get it wrong, but sometimes they do. But this is what a graded card looks like, and graded cards always sell for more. People will always sell more. One, because the idea is that the condition of the card inside, once verified by a professional authenticator, is not going to change because it's protected. So when you buy a PSA card, you don't have to wonder what you're going to get. If you buy a PSA 9, you know that a PSA 9 card is going to show up to your door, and you're going to know exactly what kind of condition that this card is in without having to worry whatsoever. So that is kind of the advantage to graded cards. To answer your question, I absolutely collect graded cards. I love them. They just increase the value and they protect your card. So it's a must do. I think it's around $15 or $20 if you're not part of any of the clubs with PSA, to get one card graded at $15, I believe, per card to get them graded. But they do run specials. There's a little club you can join. I forget how much it is now. I probably should have done some research into this. I'm a member of it, but it drastically reduces the prices of getting cards graded if you're going to get them graded in bulk, or they run specials, quarterly specials as well. Like, so for 1 month they'll do Pokemon cards, or for 1 quarter they'll do, say, like 4 specials: Pokemon cards, 1970s football, 1990s baseball, and soccer from 2018. Just random categories like that. So you can also wait until they run a UFC one and get them graded. Usually it's around half off, even around $7.50 a card, which is a great deal, because typically you can almost automatically tack on $15 minimum to any graded card's value. So you're never really going to lose your money with getting a card graded, unless you get a crap grade. Then you're definitely going to lose money. But anyhow, this is just a quick example of a PSA card, or a graded card, for those of you who have never seen one maybe. And oh, let me grab, here's a relic. Okay, so you can grade relics too. Here's a relic, Fabricio Verdum. There you go. And you see here though, signature swatch, triple relic auto. That's what it looks like. It'll just be a thicker case. This one, and I have it inside of a plastic wrap there, but you can get anything graded. And that's what that looks like. So yeah, they absolutely appeal to me. I collect a ton of graded cards. Put these away here. And I highly recommend it. Definitely. I definitely think it's a great idea. As for who you should use, PSA, Beckett, or SGC, I personally love PSA. I like using PSA just because I've done it for a long time and it's easy to ship my cards in. I got an account and make it happen. Having said that, I'm not saying they're better. Truth be told, Beckett is more of the standard, and that goes for any sports cards. It doesn't matter which sport we're talking about. But Beckett is kind of the standard, and what I mean by that is it's kind of an unspoken knowing amongst card collectors that a Beckett 9.5 is the same as a PSA 10. That's pretty much equivalent. So like a Beckett 9.5 is about the quality of a PSA 10. Now, and then a Beckett 10 will always fetch a premium. A Beckett 10 should, and generally always does, fetch a higher premium than a PSA 10. But don't take that as PSA gradings are, you know, cheaper or worth less. There's not a huge difference a lot of times, but there can be a difference. But PSA is definitely a great way to go. Beckett is a great way to go. Now, I personally, this is going to be my opinion, of course. I'm the one speaking, so that would only make sense. But SGC, any of the other ones, I'm not a fan. And I'm not saying that I'm not a fan because of the quality of their grading or their ability to grade or the reputation of their companies, yada yada. It's not because of any of that. It's because of how it's perceived. When you talk about getting cards graded and having a company graded, I mean, take this Mayce Barber for example. What is it about having some random company who's not Topps and has nothing to do with the production of the cards or anything? They're literally just a third party that gives you their opinion on a made-up scale from 1 to 10 of the condition of your card. That's all it is. It's a made-up scale from a third-party random company who says, hey, we'll tell you our opinion 1 to 10 what that card is worth. The reason that it actually does add value to a card is because of how it's perceived. Enough people, enough collectors from across different sports card communities agree that PSA is a valid thing and that that's what we're going to use. That's literally the only reason PSA, Beckett, or any of that means anything, is because enough people agree that this is a trusted source and that this is how we're going to do it. I mean, they could have invented a system that was triangles and circles and geometric figures for how good the card is, and we could be using that. So keep that in mind. That's the reason that I'm not into SGC or many of the other ones. I'm even kind of weird. What's that? I can't think of the name of it right now. But that's why I'm not too into anything other than Beckett or PSA. Just because Beckett and PSA, everyone recognizes it, and everyone is going to agree that it's legit and that they are legit companies, and they're not going to go out of business or this or that. That's what makes PSA and Beckett worthwhile. And that's also why it's going to be more expensive to get your cards graded by them. So those are just some things to think in mind, or to keep in mind. That's how I feel about it. But again, I think it's a great idea to get your cards graded. You don't have to, of course, but if you do, pending you can fetch a 9 or better, or some cards that can be lower. It just depends. It's always going to be worth your time. But again, for me, that's only going to be true with Beckett and PSA. I think having cards graded by other third-party companies, to be honest with you, can kind of hurt you sometimes, just because there's so many new people coming in to card collecting that if there's a company they haven't heard of or this or that, it kind of adds a shadiness factor for them warranted or not, to your listing, and they might not. They might kind of be deterred from that, as opposed to the card just being by itself or graded by PSA or Beckett. So that's where I'm at on graded cards, folks. Hope that makes sense to those of you who are completely new to graded cards. All right, here we're going in the magic box. My number is 132. We are definitely going to fast forward. You're really putting the work on me on this number. And here we go. $28, $29, $30, $131, and $132. It's a Michael Chiesa 2018 Topps Chrome Diamond Refractor. Whew, made me work for that one. So there you go. And I am going to throw in for you, because I liked your question, a little bonus card. What do we got? We'll throw this one in. There's a little Alexander Volkanovski 2019 Topps Chrome UFC Knockout rookie card. So these are coming your way, Mr. Derek. Yep, Derek. All right, there you go. Thanks so much. For anyone else who would like to send your questions in, maycecollectibles@gmail.com, and I will try to answer them. All right, so one last thing here. I want to talk about group breaks. Those of you who, I put up a group break last week, group break number 6 for 2019 Topps Chrome. You guys, it sold out right away. So I super appreciate that. And I see you guys enjoyed that cheap price. Oh, and I got a couple questions about getting a shipping notification, and the break hasn't happened yet. To keep on eBay, to be a top-rated seller, you have to list tracking within 24 hours. So I have to mark you guys as shipped. That's why you're getting that notification. But you will get something in the mail. That tracking number is a valid tracking number. You're going to get an information packet or letter about your upcoming break, and that's all that is. And then once the break happens on October 30th as scheduled, your cards will go out to you after that. So don't worry, I'm never going to just ship your break out without you seeing the break video and all that. But anyway, that leads me to this. A lot of you were bummed that you didn't make it in, so by popular demand, I am opening Mayce Collectibles Group Break number 7, 2019 Topps UFC Chrome on November the 6th. So there you have it, folks. November 6th, Group Break number 7, 2019 Topps UFC Chrome. It's only going to be $8.50 a spot, 9 spots total, first come, first serve. This is my way again of giving back to you guys. We're over 300 subscribers. That's insane. That's nuts. So I really appreciate that, and thought I would just throw out one more group break for those of you who were bummed about missing out on the last one. Here's your chance to get back in, so go grab your spot. Hopefully by the time, well, definitely by the time you see this video, the listing will be up. But that is going to do it, folks. I appreciate you. Hope you had an awesome weekend. Hope you enjoyed the fights. Bittersweet stuff, but that's the way she goes. That's it for today, guys. We will see you Wednesday. We're gonna break some cards here soon. Also, I kind of got this schedule down now. I'm gonna try to pre-record on the weekend a little bit so I can get ahead of the game, because during the week it's looking like it might not happen, and I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I want to get to that regular video schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we'll see if we can't have it ironed out by now, and move forward from here. That's going to do it, folks. I appreciate you so much. Until next time, take care.